I wanted to start by just thanking you all so much for your support on this first day when we've announced our campaign. Thank you all so much for your time here today. This evening, I am aware that I am addressing a community in pain. Our businesses are closed, our schools are empty, and our hospitals are very, very busy. People throughout our community don't know how they'll put food on the table, when they'll find relief, or who to turn to in this time of unprecedented crisis. In this great difficulty, servitude is more important than ever before. We need civil servants that understand the mighty challenges that our community is facing and have the resolve to address them. That's why I'm announcing that I will be running to represent this great community that we call home in the 57th District of the Michigan House of Representatives. My story is a story of opportunity. Born at Bixby Hospital to a working-class family, I would attend St. Joseph Academy for a few years before transferring to Adrian Public Schools. When I needed a quality education and support, the teachers and staff at Adrian were there for me. After my K-12 education, when I needed work experience, Michigan Works had a youth program where I received an internship through Lenawee County's IT department. When I needed help, there was an opportunity for me. When I decided that I wanted to further my education, Central Michigan University had an online program in exactly the sort of field that spoke to my sense of civic duty, community development. I would take classes after long nights of waiting tables or working a cash register. It wasn't the most glamorous, but it was an opportunity. And toward the end of my studies, I accepted an internship with Washtenaw County's Solid Waste Division, sorting and processing the hazardous chemicals from residents' homes to be reused, recycled, and safely disposed of. Today, I am responsible for the operations of this program, which kept over 350,000 pounds of toxic materials out of the environment in 2019. I work with people's trash, but it's an opportunity and one that I am blessed to have. But determination isn't just my story. It's a story that our community has been writing for generations. It's the story of workers on shop floors throughout this county, working long hours to bring the world onto the road. It's the story of farm workers in 1920, traveling 1,500 miles by train from Laredo, Texas, to a town they'd never heard of, Blissfield, Michigan, to do the backbreaking work of picking beets for Continental Sugar to provide a better life for their families. It's the story of nurses, janitors, doctors, retail workers, cooks, first responders, transportation workers, and so many others, all coming together in a time of great need to keep our community safe and healthy, showing us all that this profound test is the beginning of a profound testimony. Unfortunately, as I look at the place we call home, it is clear that there is more work to do to provide opportunity to all of us. When nearly 6,000 of our friends and neighbors here in Lenawee don't have health care, there is more work to do. When, even before coronavirus, 2 in 5 members of our community had difficulty making ends meet, there is more work to do. When wages for the bottom 80% of Michigan have not gone up since 1989, there is more work to do. But one of the most profound lessons that I learned from the community that raised me is that we can and we must find opportunity in the face of adversity, opportunity in the face of injustice, opportunity in the face of disregard. And it is from this belief, a belief passed down by so many that came before me, that I find the courage to be hopeful. I have hope that if, and only if, we come together, we can secure good-paying jobs that provide a dignified standard of living. Hope that we can provide health care to all of us. Hope that we can invest in education to give all of our kids a fair chance at life. hope that if our community is given a fair opportunity, we will rise to it. Some will say that these changes are too difficult, that the deck is too stacked against us, that the opposition is too powerful. But to that, I proudly say, I am from Lenawee. Long odds cannot shake me. Others, in their haste and misunderstanding, will call for an immediate return to the same status quo, a broken status quo that left so many of us to struggle, failing to provide solutions that match the severity of the problems that we face. But we know better. We know that prosperity that is unshared is not prosperity. We know that recovery that leaves people behind is not recovery. We know that the way it was is what led to the way it is. But we don't have to go back to the way it was. We don't have to go back to seeing our senior citizens cutting their prescriptions in half because they can't afford their medications. We don't have to go back to knowing that our neighbors are working longer and longer hours but still can't make ends meet. We don't have to go back to watching our children grow in a world where their parents' tax bracket determines whether or not they get a fair opportunity at sharing all of their potential and being all that they can be. We don't have to go back. Instead, we will rebuild our community the only way we know how, with calluses on our hands and blisters on our feet, brick by brick by brick, knowing that from the waters of Lake Michigan to the streets of Detroit, that from here on the Ohio border to the shores of Lake Superior, a new day has come. A new day has come, pledging allegiance to liberty and justice for all of humanity. A new day has come, holding a self-evident truth that all are created equal. A new day has come, sharing its promise that if we come together, finding solace in each other and the solidarity of our community, we will find courage in times of despair, we will find strength in times of hardship, and we will find relief in times of uncertainty. And with the opportunity of that new day shining brightly upon us, we will not go back. We cannot go back. We must not go back. We must bravely go forward. Again, thank you all so much for your support and for your time this evening. May you and yours be safe and be well in this very trying time. Again, thank you so much.